Right, to hand recombine, first off you get a sheet and you do your layout. Now that is the size of the image stepped to where you want it. You take that down, like so. And then what you need is your image. Now what I do is, here's your image here, which will sit over the top of the square. And that's how you line it up, and then obviously put lacquer underneath. I have this mask, so what I do is I copy my hologram onto a piece of polyester, and then I get a piece of film and laminate a piece of film which has got a window. So this is black, so it doesn't, when you've got it over here and you're doing it, it's not affecting any of the other images around. So all I do is, I first off lay the image into the square, like so, tape it down. Obviously this mask is a little large, I would use more of a smaller mask. This, but it's a mask that I had that I use in the recombiner. Then what you do is you lift off your image, and then you put a piece of film inside. Right, so you take a piece of clear film and you paste this over the top of your template, because this will never move. And you take the mask away from this because you don't want it moving. So you take this down. Now you can flip your mask over the first square. And of course the things you need, you're going to need some sort of roller. This is an ink print roller. And this is, I'm using here LED cure, but obviously this equally will work with mercury cure. So I've got a handheld LED cure in that. So what you do is you get your lacquer and you place a bead of lacquer over the top, just outside the area of the first square. You then bring your mask into play and you rub over. Take a curing lamp, hold it for a few seconds to cure, and then peel your mask back. Now what happens, you have obviously, in that square will be an image. I will do a few more and then take it off. Now what you have to do, unfortunately, is in between, unless you're good enough, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can realign the square up to the next one without actually having to clean off, like so. In the next square. Again, a bead of lacquer on the next one. Bead of lacquer. Again, lay down. I mean, essentially, it's like what would happen in an auto recombiner. And it's important, when you lift off, you always lift off in that motion. You don't try and lift the whole film off. The next window. Bit more lacquer. Hold it down. And I'll go on for you, do a few more. Now we're just going to do the last window. Obviously it's important to make sure there's no air bubbles over the image area. and that's the last one. So what you do now is obviously peel off your mask, because obviously you're going to have lacquer on the mask as well as on what you just hand recombine. So just cover the mask over for a minute with a bit of tissue, so you don't get lacquer everywhere. And then what you need is you need some ethanol just to clean off the excess lacquer that is on the plate. Obviously good to wear gloves. Now when you're cleaning off, obviously you do it with a delicate touch, and I use paper napkins. These are very soft paper napkins, and then just obviously ethanol in here. Now just go around the outside first to clear off any excess lacquer, which there will be. And you can hear it when you're cleaning off the lacquer. And then very lightly, there's no pressure at all, you just pull in it. Just get any lacquer off in between the images, because there won't be any lacquer, well there probably will be lacquer in between the images because where you've been using your mask. It's always good to make sure it's really clean. Like so. Peel this off, and there you have your hand recombine. You probably can't see the images in there, they are. And that's how you hand recombine. Quite easy. Now what I do with this, I then put it into a curing oven to really cure it off. But that's how simple and easy it is to hand recombine. Obviously while it's in the drying oven, that really hardens it off in drying oven. Then obviously you just get your mask you used and give that a clean up. Again, just with ethanol in your gloves, and away you go. Now if you're going to put a shim off it, it's always best to use another lacquer first. So what you would do is the first sheet you would coat with a lacquer, and then you would recombine on that lacquer. That enables you to pull nickel shims, and also that makes your polymer shim that you put in your embosser. So that's important. You must coat it first with one particular resin, and then use your second resin on top to recombine. Then you've made yourself a polymer shim. So what I'm doing here is just cleaning off any excess, because obviously now you've made this, you can carry on using it. Now I've made this as obviously, I've laminated, so there's a clear film there, and I've laminated the black photosensitive film behind it. You don't have to necessarily do that. What you could do is use two. You could use a mask as well as your hologram, and just lay the two over. Saves you making different masks all the time. And that's it. Nice and clean. Ready for the next recombine.